Today is June 11th, Wednesday. We are just over 2 weeks away from the Western States 100 live broadcast, and we've got 3 of our main producers or team members here that have flown in, and we are doing an entire shakedown and dry run of the Western States broadcast here at our Phoenix headquarters. So we wanted to give you guys a behind the scenes look at the team and the equipment and everything behind what this broadcast is and what it takes to put together over a 30-hour broadcast for one of the most important races in the sport. We want to hear from Ethan, from Trevor, from Zach, a little bit about their history with working this broadcast. I know that Ethan's been with the Western States live broadcast since its inception back in 2021. He's worked with Billy and with the team, so it'd be interesting to hear from him. And yeah, we are going to wrap up our testing this weekend, and then we'll be loading everything up to drive up to California next week. So something new this year that we're building out is this production rack, which we're really excited about. This unit will contain our computer, our switcher, our network router, everything. Before we would just take out, set up. We're going to have it all pre-wired, and I think it's something that's going to really help our workflow at Western States and beyond.
I'm Zach Marion, Director of Livestream here at Mountain Outpost. I've been involved with the Western States 100 broadcast for a number of years. First off, started off running cameras for Billy, and then ended up doing some live commentary from the field, and now sitting behind the booth as one of the producers. Last year, it being the first year that Mountain Outpost produced the broadcast, it was a lot of stress. It's very important to us to do this very well. It's a really important race in the sport, and so we wanted to make sure we did it justice and did it right. Ultimately, we feel like we elevated the broadcast pretty well, and we want to keep doing that year after year. And it was a lot of fun, getting into the trenches and seeing the other side of things from the production side, not just the running cameras and doing that kind of stuff, but everything behind the scenes that goes into it. It kind of opens up your eyes to how big of a project this really is.
From a theoretical standpoint.
Trevor Linton, I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah, and I started working with Mountain Outpost about a year and a half ago. Got involved with Javelina, and then just have been kind of attached to it since on the production side. I started doing videography, making creative content probably 5-6 years ago towards the end of high school, and then just kind of stayed into it, and then got more involved on the broadcast side, doing some stuff freelancing up in Salt Lake City, and then just kind of found my way down here to Phoenix, and still travel around a lot, doing a lot of different broadcast stuff, and I've done stuff for a lot of different places up in Salt Lake. So yeah, this is my first Western States, and so I'm super excited. So right now we're working on making sure all of our remote camera feeds can be accessed. So there's a lot that goes into this. We've got 70 different links for remote cameras, which is a ton. And so being able to make sure that, when they come in, they're going to the right place, and so that we can, show the viewers really telling the story. There's a lot of work on the back end in terms of graphics and videos and making sure it's all put together correctly. Obviously, I come from the production side a lot, and so I'm not a huge runner, and so it's extremely fascinating to watch from the production side, because these athletes are running hundreds of miles, and it's kind of mind-boggling to me, and so that's why I enjoy being around it. It's very inspiring for sure.
We can't guarantee the bandwidth.
No, we can't.
If we were on fiber,
If we had redundant fiber, AK baby.
But no one's expecting 4K.
Absolutely not.
Streaming.
Not many people can even properly enjoy 4K. So my name's Ethan Vossber. I am owner of Vossber Productions, which is a video production company out of Sacramento, California. I opened my business 7.5 years ago. But actually, Western States is kind of a huge part of why I opened my business. I think when I was 13 was my first time kind of interacting with Western States. My dad had just kind of started to get into the running community in Auburn, which is where we live 15 minutes from Auburn. So we were just kind of always a part of that. But I volunteered at Green Gate for the graveyard shift, and that was like, that was just so much fun. So I just immediately started loving the race, and kind of as we got more involved, it became just a lot more fun to be around. Like the people, like there's not a lot of races where you have the top athletes in the world and Joe from down the road running in the same race. And not only that, but they're all cheering each other on. And I just think that's a really cool and appealing feature of the sport. I was never really a huge runner. That's always been my dad. He's completed the race 6 times. And so that kind of just started to get more and more. We ended up crewing for him, and then all of a sudden I was like, I should film this. And so as I'm kind of building this production company, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I really like covering this race because every year it's different, and every year there's an intense story to be told. 2019, Don and Scott reached out to me, and they're like, we kind of want to do this live stream of Western States. And so I started working with them, and we did this really rudimentary stream, but it had a large appeal. There was a lot of viewership, like way more than we kind of expected, and we streamed for like 12 hours. Like
Just from the finish line?
We streamed to start, and then we were silent for a little bit, and then we streamed from kind of 2 hours before finish line on. And those were it was literally me, a computer, single camera, and it's just them talking. Like it was so rudimentary. We were using Wirecast Go as our field cams. We had no infrastructure at all. I think the golden hour, we just gave AJW a Wirecast link, and he just it was just like he was just going around with his phone, like flipping it over to himself. But people loved it, and it was like, well, what if we actually put some time into this and like really tried to make it a production? And so after that, Bob Crowley was also a little bit involved, and he, we all sat down, and we started talking with Craig and kind of the race, Diana and Topher, and we were like, hey, we think this might work. And that was also the time that Hoka was transitioning in as their main sponsor, and so we kind of all went to Hoka and were like, would you be willing to throw some money at this? And they said yes. And so that's kind of begun the amazing relationship we've had with Hoka of like just being able to go to them with this vision and execute on it, and then just continually build that year over year. So it was that last year Studio 637 ended up closing down, and Jamil comes up and he's like, we'll do it. And so that was an exciting time, because like, okay, like we now have, because the studio we used to work with, we loved them, but they didn't have an understanding of the sport, and especially in this arena, having context for like, that this person's on the screen, let's cut to them, or this person shouldn't be there. Like there's so much context that a team like Mountain Outpost brings that we usually don't have. When you get specialized crews, it just, there's this feel to the broadcast you can't get elsewhere. And so that kind of led us up to last year was our first stream with Mountain Outpost. We loved it. Super fun to work with. And then this year we are upgrading a lot of areas, and just excited to continue it. All of this is so that we can sleep. So normally I don't get any sleep race week, because there's always like, set this up, do this. But now we've been able to expand and just have a lot more people present, and so I'm kind of able to now work on like what is the super technical stuff that's gonna mainly affect the mainstream, and I can tackle that. And then all the other stuff, we have just an amazing team here that's able to come in and own different parts of it. And so that's been the best part. And so right now we have some new equipment that we're implementing this year. It's just going to give us a lot more power on the stream. What we're doing now is just stress testing, and honestly, my main goal this week is to try and break as many things as I can. Like for example, this monitor is tweaking out. We're going to fix that. I'd rather have that now than on race day. Or that camera over there, it's not connecting yet, but we're figuring that out now. And none of this is bad. It's just all, as you set things up, they don't work initially, you fix it, and then it's ready to go. So this is the beginnings of what the broadcast equipment's going to look like this year. The core of the whole system is going to be in this rack, but specifically right here. So this is called a switcher. Basically, it just takes a whole bunch of video feeds and it chooses one to spit out. And we're able to control that with this controller right here. So I can cut through right there all the different camera feeds I want to see. And that's kind of how we're doing most of the streams. We have a bunch of video coming in, and we're like, hey, I want to choose that video, and we're going to send it out to the live stream.
What's the most rewarding part of all of this? Why do you do this?
So a lot of it has been just the personal love for the sport, and Western States specifically. Because I've kind of been connected to the sport for so long, I know a lot of people on the board. I know a lot of people we've been able to host board members throughout the years at our house and just kind of really give back to what we've gotten out of it. Every household has their holidays. We love Christmas, we love Easter, we love all those weeks. But Western States is really another holiday for us. Everyone in our house knows that the last week of June is reserved. After I clean up the finish line and I open the broadcast on my phone and I'm driving back to from Palisades to the track, that to me is this is cool. We're streaming, there's people watching, there's people interacting, and it's just this really cool moment of hey, everything came together and now we're just going. And so I think that's always been the cool oh, we did it moment. But yeah, so it's just love from all different sides, and I think the main thing for me was finding a way, because I enjoy technical stuff, but finding a way to use that and apply it to things that I like, that's been a really special thing about this too.